stop right there." The guard's voice sliced through the darkness like a knife. Her breath caught, her heart pounded, and her trembling hands gripped the edges of her shawl as she darted behind the rusted truck scattered across the empty road. If you're watching this, you'll want to hear what happened next, because what she found in that moment changed her life forever. And before we dive in, make sure you like this video and subscribe, because stories like these, a broken bar, they stay with you. Rain soaked through her clothes as Aaniya ran, her footsteps splashing across the muddy ground. She didn't know where she was going, only where she refused to stay. The marriage forced upon her, the faces of people she never loved, and the life she never chose were all behind her. In front of her was only darkness, freedom, and fear tangled together like wild vines. She slipped into a narrow alley, breath uneven, stomach hollow, and hope fading. Hours ago she was in jewels and expensive fabric, dressed like a bride worth billions. Now she looked like a runaway no one would recognize, and not even the world's newspapers that often featured her family. Aaniya Malik, daughter of one of the wealthiest businessmen in the region, vanished overnight. But right now, she felt anything but powerful. As lightning cracked across the sky, she spotted a dim light glowing from a small workshop at the far end of the alley. It looked old, dusty, forgotten, exactly what she needed. She pushed the fragile door open and stepped inside. The room smelled of engine oil and iron. Tools hung on the cracked walls and the floor was littered with bolts. A young man, no older than her, with grease-stained hands and tired eyes, jerked up from beneath a car hood. "Oh hey, who are you? Are you okay?" he asked, wiping his hands on an old cloth. "Yeah, I just need a place to hide," she whispered, voice trembling, eyes pleading. She didn't know why, but she trusted those eyes. They weren't calculating or hungry like the people she grew up around. They were simply a broken bar kind. He hesitated only a second before nodding. "Okay, stay here. You look like you've been running from something awful." His name was Zion, a mechanic struggling to survive, earning barely enough to pay rent on his workshop. Some nights he slept on the very bench where he fixed engines. He could have rejected her, feared trouble, or turned her away. Instead, he brought her a blanket, offered his own meal, and watched over the place while she rested. For the first time in her life, someone helped her without wanting anything in return. Hours slipped onto days. Aaniya stayed hidden while Mina, her father's Mina, scoured the streets, searching for her. She listened to their voices echo past the workshop every night. Zion always stayed close, quietly reassuring her she was safe. As the days passed, they talked about simple things at first. Zion told her how he loved fixing things, how engines made sense to him even when life didn't. She told him she loved painting, though she had never been allowed to pursue it. He never asked where she came from, never asked why she was running, and she didn't tell him, not because she wanted to lie, but because she finally tested a life where she was just a broken bar herself. No money, no status, no expectations. But secrets don't stay hidden forever. One morning, as they shared tea in the corner of the workshop, the old TV on the desk suddenly flickered. A news anchor spoke urgently. Day 4 of the search for billionaire heiress Aaniya Malik. She vanished hours before her arranged marriage. Her family is offering a large reward for information on her whereabouts. Zion's cup froze in midair. Aaniya felt her heart crash into her ribs. The girl in the photo on screen wore jewels and expensive makeup, but the eyes were unmistakable. "Yuri broken bar her?" Zion asked quietly, surprise and disbelief blending in his expression. Not anger, not greed, just shock. Aaniya braced herself for rejection, fear, or worse, for him to call the number on the screen and hand her over. She swallowed hard. "I didn't want to lie. I was scared." Zion exhaled slowly, setting the cup down. "So broken bar, you're a billionaire, and you're here, hiding in my workshop." "I had nobody else," she whispered. "You helped me without even knowing who I was." He stared at her for a moment, then said softly, "Money doesn't change the fact that you were scared and needed help. I'm still on your side. If you want to leave, I'll help you go wherever you're trying to get." Her chest tightened with emotion. After a lifetime of conditional love, this was the first person who chose to stand beside her simply for being human. But the world outside wasn't gentle. The man searching for her grew closer, offering larger rewards. Zion's workshop became dangerous, and soon, They had no choice but to run again together this time. Every step tested their courage. At one point, soldiers cornered them at a checkpoint. Aaniya panicked, tears rushing down her cheeks. Zion held her hand, whispering, "Trust me." He distracted the guards with a story about delivering emergency car parts and moved her past quietly. His bravery carried her through moments her wealth could never have saved her from. Finally, miles away from the city, they reached a safe town where no one recognized her. They stayed in a small guest house, working odd jobs. Aaniya painted again, selling her art to tourists who admired the soul in her colors. Zion repaired cars and bikes for locals who quickly trusted him. Days became weeks, and their bond deepened not because of fear but because of choice. He had saved her life. She had given him purpose. They found in each other the peace they never had before. One evening, as the sun dipped behind the mountains, Zion looked at her and said, "You don't have to keep running anymore." She smiled softly. "I know. I've already found where I belong." Her family eventually stopped searching when rumors spread that she had willingly left the country. And perhaps, in a way, she really had left at least the version of her life that never belonged to her.